Hey guys, welcome to Wee Wednesday, and today we're taking a look at another small knife. This knife I picked up a few weeks ago. Well, I got it mailed to me. I got it from GearBest, but it's also available at FastTech, which has a better price by a few dollars. I'll have links down below for both GearBest and FastTech, depending if you prefer one or the other. And both will be referral links. That's my little disclaimer. If you use my links, you're supporting my channel and helping me to make more and more videos. So thank you very much for that. Now, where is this knife? It's right here. It's been sitting there the whole time. It's a little front flipper, but I can't get it to flip very well using just one hand, like this. I just can't get it to work. If I use my thumb, I can do it that way. I'll show you details a little closer up. It's this little knife, titanium handle scales, and they say that it's S35 VN steel on the blade, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute, so stick around for the full review of this knife with the odd pocket clip coming at you right now. Well, to start out with a little size comparison, here's your standard pen. This is a Bic brand pen, and basically, it's a little bit larger than a Bic pen in terms of its girth. Very close to the size that the thickness of the cap is, and just a little over half the length of a Bic pen when it's together. So if you have this in your pocket, it fits in your pocket like that. If you line up the end point of the pocket clip and the clip on your pen. And as you saw when it was on my shirt there, just very little sticking out, not bad at all. So it comes in this bluish color. I need to do something with the light so the color works better. Okay, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Let me try one more thing here. So you can see that bluish gray kind of color. It's like a smoky kind of blue color. Looks kind of good. A little bit of a cutout there for the frame lock that you can see. It's a 2-bolt system. I think those are T6s. I did take it apart. I've got pictures of the ball bearings. There's really nothing to see on the inside, but I will show you the ball bearings later on. And flips open like that. Just a little bit of pressure on the blade right there makes it come open. And that's where it says S35 VN. And those are the only markings on this knife. You've got the pocket clip right here. It's also that titanium alloy. Very functional, holds on quite well. And the lockup here, let's see if I can get you a good picture of that. Lockup is very good, pretty much where you want it to be on a brand new knife. Not so far across that it's got very little life left. So that's good. Nice little sharpener's choil there. And then the cutting edge. And it's a Wharncliffe blade style. So the cutting edge is flat, totally flat across. And then you got this drop coming here like that. Some people might want to call that a sheep's foot, but sheep's foot is generally for when the blade has a belly on it and it comes down like this. So I'm going to do a video coming up on terminology, different parts of knives and stuff, if enough people are interested. So let me know down in the video comments below in the comment section if you would like to have a video talking about the different names of the different parts of the knife. Maybe that'll help you understand some stuff that I'm talking about. Who knows? We'll see. We've got a little bit of a stonewash on the spine of the blade, but just a nice satin grind right here, so ground all the way down. And it's a decent little knife. Here's the pictures of the ball bearings. There you go. It's a decent little knife that way. It's got good action, nice and smooth. Of course, just being how small it is, a detent is much harder to overcome on such a light knife than it is on a heavier knife. And I just do this one-hand deployment, put my thumb up there that way. I just can't get it to work doing the pullover. On some larger knives, I can do that and pull it over. But the thing is, you've got such a small knife here. If you put any pressure on the frame lock arm here, like while you're holding it, you won't be able to flip it out because you're holding the frame lock detent in. So you can only hold it at the back here with your other fingers, or just on the outside edge here. Really hard to do to hold it and turn it over unless you hold it like this. And that's why I hold it like this, and I put my thumb there and flip it over and lock it open that way. So there you go. When it's open, it's the same length as a pen. So there you go. Let's go over all of the dimensions now. And where's my little marker for that? Okay, so here's the specs. First, the weight. It's 27 grams. That's 0.9 ounces. And how sharp is the cutting edge? Well, from the factory, it required 230 grams of pressure to cut through the filament on my tester. So that's not super awesome, but it's not bad at all. It's actually very good. It's just not on the super awesome side. Let's do the dimensions now. The cutting edge is 6 centimeters. That's 2.35 inches. And the blade length is 6.5 centimeters. That's 2.56 inches. The blade thickness right back here is 2.5 millimeters. That's 0.098 of an inch. The blade depth is 8.5 millimeters, which is 0.335 of an inch. So basically a third of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is 0.48 millimeters. That's 0.019 inches. So exactly what you want on a knife like this. 0.5 millimeter thick right there. The grind angle of the final grind was 20.5 degrees on this side, and the show side here was 27.3 degrees. So that's quite the difference. Almost 7 full degrees, 6.8 degrees difference between the two sides. And I will do a video on how I get those measurements, because a lot of people are asking me, well, how do you know exactly what that angle is? It's a little bit to explain on right now, so I'll let you know. I'm going to do a separate video to show you exactly how I come up with those numbers. The handle length is 8.44 centimeters. That's 3.32 inches. And the grip area is the same thing. The handle thickness is 9.5 millimeters. That's 0.374 of an inch, so a third of an inch again, just over. And the handle depth is 1 centimeter over here, just over 1 centimeter, a little bit more by the pocket clip. That's 0.4 of an inch. And it's the same thing with the knife closed because the blade gets hidden in there. And the total length of this knife with the blade deployed is 15 centimeters, 5.9 inches. How much are you going to have to pay for this thing? I'll give you the FastTech prices. The GearBest prices are a little bit higher, and GearBest sometimes charges shipping to some countries. So FastTech, $20.87 US, $26.08 Canadian, 17.73 euros, and 15.65 pounds sterling. Not bad. It'd be great if it really was S35VN, but I don't think it is. I did resharpen this, so it's 20 degrees per side now, and it was just too soft. The steel was too soft to really be S35VN. So I believe, and this is just my gut, my educated instinct of playing with knives, I really don't think that this is S35VN, but it's a decent steel. It keeps its edge for a good long time, and it cuts well. It's just not quite up to that level, but it's a good steel that I like quite a lot. Unique features, well, this front flipper design works really well. And this spine pocket clip. I really like this spine pocket clip. On this knife, it works perfectly. It's awesome. So it's totally ambidextrous that way. And with the frame lock, it's almost as easy with the left hand as it is with the right to to unlock the knife. I'm not as good with deployment on this specific knife with my left hand because I just haven't practiced with my left hand quite as much, even though I'm left-handed. It's the amount of time you spend with it, really. So there's that. Now let's talk about some more of the pros and cons. They did really good machine work on this knife and on the handle, so they did great work. The fit and finish is quite good. The sharpness choil is a good size, and the placement is perfect. So many knives in this price range have sharpness choils that aren't made this well, so that's good. It's super, super light, less than an ounce, easy to carry. And it's got a nice little fun factor. You know, this little knife isn't going to scare people, and yet you could use this to cut up your apple at lunch if you wanted to. It is a little thick for its depth. So this angle here, oh, I didn't write down the angle. I will tell you what this main bevel angle is. I'll put it on the screen up here right now. The main bevel angle, that is from here to the cutting edge, what angle is this main side at? That's called the bevel. So I'll tell you what that is. If it was a little bit less of an angle, so that means if it was this thick, but it went over a full inch, then it would have a smaller angle. It would make the knife a better slicer than it is. It's an okay slicing machine, but again, we're talking about a small little knife that's going to get very little regular use. It's not an EDC carry, it's a very occasional use. And for this specific use, this is totally fine, being as, you know, the angle that we have here on the bevel. It's just fine. I was being sort of nitpicky, maybe trying to make a little teachable moment about grind angles. And not just the final grind angles, but the main bevel grind. What are the cons? I don't think it's S35VN. Another con is there's no brand name. I really do like knives that have brand names, because then you can go see the history of the brand, you know, and then you've got somebody to blame or somebody to give credit to of a job either done well or a job done poorly. You know, so I really do like having brands on things. This doesn't have any brand name, and it's probably not S35VN. So that's all that there is. So if you're looking for a nice little knife like this, and everywhere I've found it, it only comes in these two colors. You get your typical conditions with titanium. You know, this will scratch up fairly easy. This anodization has held up quite well, but anodization has those risks, especially on titanium because it's a little bit softer. But, you know, it's made well, looks good. It's an interesting thing. It's got a fun factor that's quite high. It's got a threat factor that's very low. People aren't going to see this thing as, you know, a threatening knife if you take it out in the office or whatever. And, you know, they might come by and ask questions and be curious about it. You might be able to start a good little knife conversation with people at your workplace if you pull out something like this. So again, silver or black, silver or this blue. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. And thanks to everybody who likes, shares, comments, subscribes. Thanks again. Remember, guys, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.